Greetins, Chromatic Warriors!
Spring is in the air and summer is just around the corner. Inspired by these changing seasons, I wanted to try a little bit of a different approach to this next, more detailed series. I have for myself Nancy from Neko Galaxy. I picked this up at Adepticon 2023 and I've been thinking about it for a long time. So I thought for the first kickoff for this series, I would produce a vlog. I want to kind of capture parts of the process as I'm working on the model, share my thoughts on color scheme, just try to capture a little bit more of that theory. I wanted to take people alongside that sort of primordial stage of a project, or at least attempt to. Certainly things evolve after you try them one time, but this is a way for me to change things up for myself and attempt to just present some different content for people on Patreon. You. Thank you for the support. And as you've been following this Patreon for a while, you may notice that I like to produce a mixture of content. Sometimes I produce an entire model in a single video, zoom in on a technique, various things like that. This project will be my next drawn out, detailed competition piece. I'll just put it like that to kind of sum everything up. I have a bit of time before the Nova Open and before I travel to Monte San Savino, and I've been enjoying doing a lot of kit bashing and grimy work. It's time to, if you do one thing, you just think about the other thing. So it's time to get back to doing some more detailed, focused work, and as always, see what experiments the model can present for me along the way. So come along with me over the next few days between streaming and teaching lessons and other various projects as I start to prep Nancy and get some ideas going. Alright, so this plinth has a slight tilt to it, which will be nice for the kind of opening up the view. And it's just a little too large for it. She kind of stands over the edge, but what that gives me, she'll be facing in this direction, but it gives me this overhang with the jaw. I already have all these cybernetic pieces coming out, so I think if I just add on to that and have those spilling over the side, I just don't really need a sketchbook. There, let me get the shitty clippers out, hack away at this excess. Won't really need this where I'm going. Alright, so I also want to gather some other basing materials. The top of that plinth is pretty flat. It needs to be because the robotic head is kind of sculpted. It's mashed into this broken up cement. So what I'll do, I'll also create some kind of substructure to the street, have some random I-beams and tubers and guitar strings poking out. So you gather up some plastic card bits, see what else I can find. I have a lot of kind of random brass pieces and twisted rods in here. Also, I thought it'd be cool to have a hand involved, like a piece of the robot's hand kind of climbing over the edge of the plinth. I remembered I had an old Chaos Knights box down in the basement, so see if I can manipulate that hand and kind of convert it down a little bit to make it match the universe a little bit better. But I'll start attaching some of those larger pieces and see just how this fits together. I can get down to the micro detailing after I've gotten these kind of main ideas in place. Checking back in, I got down to some of the micro detailing after attaching the larger pieces to the base. I put the Green Stuff World Tentacle Maker to good use. It's a really easy tool for making these cables, alien tentacles if you wish, but yeah, I found having some of the cables spilling out, I like breaking the boundary of the plinth a little bit and implying there's more space outside of what you're seeing in that area. So a little bit of overhang is nice. You can see how the fingers are hanging over the edge. That worked out well. I didn't end up needing as much of the plastic card rods and everything. Even though a handful of them looks dramatic in the video, I did make a little techie bit using some guitar strings and two tubes that fit together. It's some kind of machinery, right? It's all surrealism here. Nothing fully matters, doesn't have to work. Just serves our artistic function. Just want the area to look a little confusing. That's sci-fi after all. So brought some rocks into place finally to further just break up the kind of types of earth present. I don't know if I'll add any grass into the situation. I definitely want to have some kind of a robot blood pouring out of the head and leaking over the edge. Another way to break the boundary with that plinth. So I'll get it wrapped up in some low-tack masking tape and ready for primer. I'll miss that pink resin. I'll miss seeing all these raw materials on that note. It's always cool when you create a kit bash. You know, first of all, there are no instructions directing you to create it that way, but it's nice to see the variety of materials that come into play. Now to be forever buried under a layer of spray paint and then acrylic. So glad I have these videos and photos to capture the moment. Primed and ready. I will miss those materials, but there is something satisfying about seeing that zenithal base coat on the model. I enjoy the negative space as well. I really like the way this model is flowing and breathing. I'm glad I took my time prepping her up. And yes, now it's time to further bring her to life. I'll be painting the model. I want to get kind of a clash of styles going. We'll call it the Titan on the base. I'll paint that up in sort of a blue and a bright yellow, you know, nice primary bright colors. And then on the human side, although I enjoy a lot of the other takes and studio color scheme on Nancy, I'll go for military OD green tones. There's so many cool green colors to pull from the Fanatic range. Yeah, that's what I think I'll work with. And then for an accent tone, I'll pull in some kind of fiery orange. I want to have the glowing eye and have that robot blood to contend with as well. Sometimes when I'll just see what colors are available after I've painted the model up, that'll be one of the last things that I put onto this. So just kind of ask yourself what colors are already available when you run into a situation like that. I hope you enjoyed this video and this approach to starting a project off. I wanted to keep capturing my thoughts in segments as they happen instead of writing something that was done in a past tense. You know, I wanted to be a little more present, and as things change, I wanted to capture those changes and ideas and such. So let me know what you think. The tutorials and the how-to on the painting on this project will be done in the traditional way, two hands painting. So thanks again for your support. Coming soon, I'm going to do a video on my photography setup as well. We can look forward to that. All right, I'll see you next time.